I think a lot of us were probably expecting this to happen. Right after Rainbow Rocks is over, right with that teaser at the end, we knew there was going to be a third Equestria Girls. Is it going to be the last one? Well, we may not know at this point, but here is the answer to the whole other Twilight thing. Friendship games. Let's take a look. Greetings, every peoples. This is your cult of personality, ToonKriticY2K's name, and Toon's out of the name of my game. Friendship Games, the third Equestria Girls movie. Did you ever think we'd get this far? Because we all know how the first movie was, but yet the second one came out and just blew us away. Now, the third movie, I'm going to be honest here, I still prefer Rainbow Rocks, but this was still pretty good. Even though it's slightly retreading over Equestria Girls, but in a better way. So, Friendship Games, it takes place, I think, I'm going to take a guess, during Season 5. So, this big Friendship Games event is coming up, which many people at first thought was going to be the Hunger Games. And it has Canterlot High competing against Crystal Prep, which is Crystal, I guess their version of the Crystal Empire. And let's just say there's not many good students there. It's the Wonder Colts versus the Shadow Bolts. So we find out that the Twilight of the human world, is a student at Crystal Prep. And the two schools are going to start competing against each other. And, well, let's just say human Twilight gets wrapped up into all this stuff and has no idea what to make of all the magic stuff that happens at Canterlot High. Especially considering that the school's gone through two magic attacks. And yet they've still managed to just come out on top. So, what do I think about this? Let's start with, well, the positives. Positives is that I'm actually surprised that this movie turned out pretty good. I thought I was just going to flop. But no, Sunset is leading the charge as the new leader of the main six, since Twilight cannot and is off doing princessy stuff. And Sunset is, the big star. Oh, she's actually on the cover of the DVD. Yeah, with all the character development that she made in the second movie, which was basically all about her, developing, didn't even get put on there. That seems a little stupid. Whatever. But there she is, right on the cover. So you know that she's a main character, and you know that Hasbro is taking her seriously. I think the writers are taking her seriously as well, because you could make a video on the development that Sunset goes through, from being a villain to a sympathetic? Is that a word? No, that's not. To a sympathetic main character, or side character. No, I don't want to say main character. I mean, technically she was, but she's more like a side character in the second movie, to a full-fledged protagonist main character that we can all care about. So that is really good. Especially seeing the end bit. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this, spoilers, I guess I probably should have mentioned this by now. I mean, if you haven't seen this already, what's wrong with you? The way that Sunset goes with the ending, it mirrors the first movie in such a brilliant way that it's a full circle thing for Sunset, going from where she was to now, with the battle between her. I wouldn't even really call it a battle. It was more like a really short Dragon Ball Z fight. I mean, the Twilight versus Tyrek battle was longer than that. That's alright, though. It's interesting to see how Sunset manages to turn everything around and present the situation in a way where, surprisingly, it shows, like, what is the word I'm looking for here? It's like role reversal. That's what I'm looking for. Role reversal. Now, Twilight herself, I found this to be really interesting too, because as somebody pointed out, and I use this as a reference, the reason Rainbow Dash is such a jerk in this is because she hasn't learned all the lessons that the Equestria, horse, pony Dash has learned in her world, which makes sense. So, logically by that, the human Twilight does not know any of the lessons that Pony Twilight has learned. So she's, starting from zero. And the way that she develops and almost ends up turning up into a villain for Sunset to basically pull her down is really cool to see how they did that. You don't have a copy character here. You have a chance to redo Twilight in a new light. You have a new way to present her. And that was really interesting how they managed to do that. The other thing I liked about this were the songs. Now, they weren't as awesome or epic as a whole, as opposed to Rainbow Rocks, but there's some really good ones here. I really do like them. The finale song was pretty cool. I mean, technically it's a villain song if you want to look at it, but I'll get back to that in a second. No, I like the songs here. The CHS Rally song, I think, is going to be the new Help Twilight Win the Crown. And let's face it, the first Equestria Girls movie, really, you can sum it all up with just that song. The songs, I'm trying to think, what more is out there? That's one. CHS Rally. I don't think the short songs count, like Life is a Runway, or My Past is Not Today, or Friendship Through the Ages, but they're on the soundtrack, so technically they're friendship game songs, I guess. Now, I'm sure they'll probably have more in there because they did cut out some stuff. This is the TV version that we're watching. So these are my thoughts on the TV version, just so I can get my thoughts out there. Because when the DVD version comes out, we're going to get a full, complete, no-cuts story. And that's where the roundtable review is going to come in. Which, by the way, I should mention, will be in early November when that happens. And we will have myself, Voice of Reason, Sketchy the Changeling, and Lightning Bliss. So watch out for that. Now, my complaints with this mostly come from Crystal Prep as a whole. Principal Cinch, we... not so good as a villain. Like, I think half of us were expecting her to turn into Chrysalis or something, which would have made interesting sense, I think. But no, they didn't go with that. They just had her being a generic principal. And she was more of like a puppet master pulling the strings. So when the big reveal came, and then like when she just leaves, you know, okay, whatevs, bye-bye, probably won't ever see you again. Now, the villains in Rainbow Rock, the Sirens, those did good. Those were impressive. They had a great song, they had a great look, great plan, and great finale. Principal Cinch doesn't really do anything. And the Shadow Bolts are really no different. The Shadow Bolts got, like, little to no character. The only character that we can identify from them is that they're hinted at being, like, foils for the main six. Like, you have one being all fashion-like, just like, oh, that's Rarity if she was evil. Oh, that's Rainbow Dash if she was evil. Oh, that's Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy if she was evil. Okay? And they didn't do anything. They're just there to be antagonists, and they really have nothing else to do other than that. But really, that's my only complaint with this. I guess technically a complaint is I'm not so sure why they went with this route, because this feels less epic than the past movie. But, you know, it's still good. I still like this movie. It was really good how they put everything together. Songs were good. Story was alright. Characters, specifically Sunset and Twilight, which were basically the main focus of this, did really great. And, yeah. I think that's all I gotta say on it. So is there going to be a fourth Equestria Girls movie? Well, I hope so, because I think they might be able to squeeze something out of it. I think they probably should have ended with the second one, but what are they going to do? This is it's a franchise. Hasbro relies on making toys, so whatever they're going to do here, one can only hope that it'll either be an improvement or not. Let's hope it's an improvement or something on the same level or better. Because if you go down from here, it's not going to look good for you. Oh, who are we kidding? We're going to make a fourth one. So yeah, question of the comment. I was literally about to say that. That sounded so stupid. Question for the comments. There we go. Okay, so question for the comments. What do you think the fourth Equestria Girls movie should be on? And also put your thoughts on what you thought of, of friendship games. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot to say on it. And yeah, I cannot wait to do the full roundtable review of it. I'm sure that's going to be interesting because all at Cider Fest there's going to be nothing but friendship game stuff. So, Yep, that is all I gotta say. Like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, Patreon, Tumblr, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, Toon Critic keeping you totally tuned for your entertainment. Stay awesome, and have a nice day.